Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This podcast is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Now more than ever, our internet reliance is increasing, from talking to loved ones to streaming your favourite shows to watching any of the podcasts here on Stretford Paddock. And with that increased footprint, so does our need for proper internet security. And Surfshark is a VPN service that encrypts your data, which stops anyone unwanted from seeing it. Another great thing about Surfshark is it allows you to see all of the great content from around the world. Simply sign in to Brazil and check out their Netflix. You can watch Croatian Amazon Prime. And when you're on holiday, you can still watch all of your shows from back home simply by changing it to your home nation. It is that simple. And currently Surfshark have an amazing deal. By clicking the link in the description and using our code Paddock, you can get a whole 3 months extra for free. That is 3 months extra for free. In addition, Surfshark also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, use that link in the description and use the code Paddock for 3 months for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee.
How you doing?
Should have had a wee.
You what?
Should have had a wee.
Do you need a wee?
No.
Are you alright?
A little bit.
I can't do it, mate. You know, we start a podcast and I do it. It's on me all the time. It's in the back of my mind, and I think I ain't gonna survive this. And I usually just have to run off and do it, especially at my age.
When was the last time you soiled yourself?
I almost did it on our watch alongs. Remember that clip that was doing the rounds? When I stood up, went, oh. I wasn't gonna soil myself.
Back door or front door?
Back door.
Well, bad do.
Yeah, but I managed to make it. So, but I shit myself running once, about a year ago.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What in the Paul Ratcliffe is this?
No, not fully. It was. This Laurie from The Athletic, by the way. You know him, don't you?
Yeah, he's a serious journalist.
Yeah, he is. We'll get to that.
Have you shit yourself running?
What have you dragged me into it?
Yeah, have you ever shit yourself?
I have not ever.
Have you? No, you've not lived.
I don't think of the past tense of that then. Shat.
So I was running and I felt
weed yourself?
Yeah, you must have weed yourself on a night out.
Oh, on a night? Oh.
No, we never woke up. Like.
Yeah, I have. Pulled up too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm going to have to go home. What, I'm going to be the guy stood here with a load of piss down my leg. Don't fucking think
Depends
so.
how levered you are.
Oh, Uber?
Do you know what I mean?
Well, obviously.
If you're like, do you know what I mean? One of them ones.
No,
but
even a couple of bottles deep, Jay. You know if you've wet yourself, it's time to go home.
It's debatable. Depends where you are.
But on your running, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw the
What, for the
before
shitting
and
himself
after,
or
Yeah.
the year of running.
Yeah,
looks good.
this is it. It helps when you keep shitting yourself as
Yeah.
well. 'Cause you just
Well,
lose
there you
loads
go.
of weight.
Yeah.
No, I had a little accident, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Did you have to,
I had to walk funny.
do the thing like a dog does and drag yourself along the floor like Gary Lineker?
Almost. I just walked funny, and then I ran Mrs. and she was like, she answered her phone when I got in. She said, "Well, I don't know why you're ringing me for, because I wouldn't have come and got you."
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I've shit myself. Pardon. We're having chips for tea.
Wow.
Anyway,
Speaking of shit,
yeah, nice.
now we started.
Now, nice.
Is that always the plan?
No,
That
We don't have a
segue?
plan on here, Laurie. You've
Laurie,
known us longer than
you
that.
thought it was a plan.
Hey, come on.
Fucking hell.
Hey.
Just suddenly
Me
came
and him
to
have
life
never had a
there,
plan
but
on
no.
this channel or this particular podcast. But it's good that you're coming in, because you're a
Thanks.
hot topic in a minute.
Oh.
Been doing work and that, haven't you?
I know, what's the matter?
You know what I mean? Oh, look at me, everyone's going to write loads of
Don't
articles.
fuck all for about a year. And bullshit is 2 articles.
Yeah, in-depth articles. I'm going to interview loads
Like,
of people.
name 3 other articles you did last year. See?
See, you can.
Fucking screwed it. Meanwhile, you've had 2 go bang in a week.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
thanks for the content, because we've got our money's worth out of him as well.
I looked, there's probably 3 or 4 videos where I've had to reference that article Laurie did.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Yeah, we have.
referencing it.
We do.
Yeah.
Do you know
Well, I
what
should do, since I'm fucking cited in it.
Oh,
Not this one, the previous one.
is there a
Well, fucking better be. There better be a note at the bottom.
Is Stephen Howson one of your sources?
He might. I don't know. It might be, but have I forgotten that you were
No,
my
I
sources?
definitely fucking was.
Well, you've been telling me you were. So, unless you're lying to me, Stephen, which I don't like.
You probably were, Steen. I probably,
Just one of many.
yes.
You probably heard it from him, then I'll get this stood up.
Well, that's what I definitely
Oh, it's
do.
true. Oh, he's actually telling
Wow,
the
he's
truth.
actually-
Yeah, what?
I
He actually
definitely,
does know
I would
stuff.
absolutely stand it up. I wouldn't just go, Steve said the following.
Steve, yeah,
let's just
I've
roll with
made that mistake.
Live on air. How much did it cost you?
Just a few friendships.
Okay. Nothing monetary.
I've heard from Steve, trust me. No, I'm out of the group chat
Right.
now.
Oh, okay. You can win friends back.
Yeah, easily. I get new ones. You did we'll go back to the first article you did this week, or last week, whenever it was, about Mercer and transfers and Woodward, and can we just call it what it is? The shit show that has been Manchester United post Fergie in particular.
Was that a working title?
that might have been a word that was used to me by different sources. Obviously, you being one of them, Steve, but then other sources backed up such a suggestion. It is obviously the idea of the piece, I think, was to try and hopefully give people a bit of an insight into what's going on behind the scenes and how it came to be.
Absolute shit show.
You listen, if that's your assessment from reading the piece, that's up to you.
That's my professional opinion.
Okay, well, good.
I mean, you can't read that and think otherwise. You can't read that and think that is a well-oiled machine.
Well, I don't think you can, and also I don't think that the people that are coming in would think so either.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of made their
It's well
mark
oiled
already.
but it's like that fucking Gulf of Mexico thing that BP did.
Yeah, like an oil spillage. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of oil everywhere.
Just fucking dead herons all over the gaff covered in
Yeah.
oil.
So when you, sorry to be all like, oh, tell us how you did it, but when you went about that, where did you start off with that? Did you start off with chatting to people like him and going, oh, actually, what? Really? They did what? Hang on a minute, let me start. He's telling the truth.
I think that stuff that we spoke about that was in it was probably 3 or 4 months prior to the article.
I'm trying to go on. Do you want to? I can't. Don't out yourself, obviously. But like, tell me afterwards. It's conversations over many months and probably years, to be fair.
I think you did well to piece it all together because there was some stuff in there that was multiple years back.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Was it on a whim to put it all together because something had clicked, or had you been working on it for months?
I've been working. Knowing stuff is one thing, and then you're sort of figuring out, right? Well, is it fair to put this out there? Why is somebody telling me this? For example, I always ask that question. There's different versions of what happened, so I always would like to give people the opportunity to respond in advance, and then you kind of have to make your own mind up and try and give the truest reflection. You don't, in my opinion, you don't have to go, this person said this person said that, therefore, figure out. I think you do have to kind of make a little bit of a judgment yourself as a journalist to figure out what you're going to put in the piece. But no, it's conversations, trusting people, testing whether what they're saying to you is correct, and that's by checking it out with multiple people and just pushing a little bit back on what they've said to you, and if the story stacks up the second time they tell you, the third time they tell you, and then you go, okay, this is, and whether it's legitimate or not, to put that out there and how valid that is to what United looks like as a club right now, and what Ineos might want to try and change, and how things have happened as well, because clearly you can't be spending this kind of money on players that they have done, for a number of years, and getting to this point where the squad is what it is.
It's genuinely terrifying, isn't it, when you see the club have gone, okay, we value it. One begets the next, in almost like they weren't great or even at all identifying second and third targets.
Yeah.
So we go, that's our target, and we think he's worth X. And then going in and paying 3 times whatever X was because we didn't identify a second or third target, and we've left ourselves short. And then I've spoken about this a few times this week, is that United seems to be a place at the moment where Roy Keane's the example I keep using. He was offered more money to go elsewhere, but he came to United for wanting to play under Sir Alex and thought there was an opportunity to be part of something and to win something. What can United offer people at the moment? It's only money. And I feel that's why we've ended up chasing players that want massive wages.
Well, that, or it's players that possibly aren't good enough at this point, or there's not that clamour for. So their option is. So
we're competing against no one and still overpaying.
We're competing against ourselves almost. Felt like.
Well, that's it. That's it with the Anthony one. I mean, that was just they'd left it so late. Ten Hag wanted a striker at the very start of the summer, and then it got to the point in that mode of the season where he'd lost 2 games and there was panic. And he wanted an attacker. Anthony, I think, he obviously is pushed for him because he knows him, but equally I think it was a stage where there wasn't really much else he could go for. So he's thinking, well, I need somebody in, and okay, let's go for Anthony, and I know that he can do what I want him to do on the pitch. And then at that point, I interviewed Edwin van der Sar on the record about this, and he said, we challenged John Merton and Richard Arnold to go as high as possible, basically. And it's like, wow. And you say there's no other sort of parties in the race there, but it was because Ajax had sold a load of players in the summer, and at that point they didn't have to sell him. They didn't need the money, so they were just they could put their marker down and then ask for the price they wanted. And
Oh my God.
I mean, also, like, they'd sold one of them players to us already.
Well, yeah.
For 56 million quid in Alessandro Martinez, which helps their cause to sell us Andy for more. Because it's like, well, we don't need much money now. You helped us give us nearly 60 million quid, sorry. Plus, we sold others.
And I do have some sympathy for United's position, because they're obviously trying to aspire towards winning titles and challenging for trophies. They've got big revenues that everybody knows about, so they're obviously going to push and try and get extra money from them. But that's where you've got to have skills in that market, relationships, leverage that you can push to make sure that people don't, take the mick out of you, and going for players with a considered approach, with a long-term plan in place. Because, like I say, with the Anthony one, they had reports on him that were fine, but people were saying they wouldn't go for him at that point. This is under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that's when the kind of 25 million. Well, listen, he's available for that. Maybe we can go for it. So it's not like he was valued at 25 million and then next week United bid 86 million. But it's obviously part of the kind of the long-term painting at United.
Well, isn't that where something like a Paul Mitchell, who the entire footballing world knows the value of a player?
Yeah.
Where he goes in and goes, listen, I think he's worth 44. And we'll pay 44. Someone don't go, well, we want 80. Because then you would assume Paul Mitchell goes, well, you're fucking stupid, and leaves. He's been on the buying and selling side at multiple different clubs at multiple different levels. When he tells you a player's worth X, he's in the ballpark of how much a player's worth. He's not sitting in front of Woodward, who's telling the entire world we can do things in a transfer market others can only dream of. Well, yeah, no one dreamt of doing the sort of shit we've done the last 10 years, I'm sure.
That's it. It's having the power to walk away, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Man City and, you can judge different aspects of what they do, but for sure they step away from deals when they think it's too much. Harry Maguire, Mark Cucurella.
Yeah.
So
And that left a sting for him, didn't it?
in terms of what Maguire and Cucurella,
they never recovered.
Yeah, so
that's it. You had the last laugh there.
and so that
Fucking 1,000,000%.
yeah,
Good point, well made, yeah.
Even though they're in the Championship, they're still laughing.
Mate, they did well in Leicester. Was it Maguire and Fofana both for 80 million?
Well, they got
Fine,
new
yeah.
training ground.
I bet they did.
yeah,
No, they literally did.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was there much pushback from the club? Because you're writing these articles, and obviously you're not painting a great picture of the club. It's an honest one, as Fergie said. You're telling the truth, but then you still sat in the press conferences. You still got to
not been banned yet.
Yeah, you've got to contact the club when you want to get something stood up. Was there any pushback from the club saying?
Yeah, there's always
Pack it
pushback. Yeah, because obviously it's a robust industry. You've got to have. I would only, but the thing is, I would go to the club and say, it's part of our part of my makeup as a journalist, and also part of the New York Times that own The Athletic, the way they want to approach journalism. Give the people that you're writing about a right of reply in advance, and I go to them and sort of give them a decent idea about what I'm writing about, so that they can challenge me if they want to, and I can really hear what they think about a certain situation. So I think in that regard, the people that I'm writing about are always thinking, okay, well, fair enough. I don't agree with what you've written there, but at least I've been given an opportunity to sort of push back against it. And then again, it's up to me. And I'm not saying that everyone thinks I'm great at Man United. Like, certainly, there's probably people that think I've caused an issue for them and a bit unfair on them, maybe. But I think at least letting them know in advance and having that openness is a benefit.
Wasn't that what the drama's about? The ones who got banned the other week?
Exactly, yeah. And it's not to me to cast any assertions about that, but I think that's what Erik ten Hag had an issue with, it seemed, in that situation. So, yeah.
I reckon United see you and Adam Crafton on an article and think, oh, great, here we go again. We spoke to Adam a few weeks ago.
Adam's a brilliant journalist.
Yeah, about the Mason Greenwood scenario, and he was like, a similar thing. It's like, look, I've got this information, I've had it stood up, I know this is happening, and you think, what can the club say if that's
and I do have to
true,
and people might not like this, but I do have to give credit to United as a organisation in that regard, because I know there's clubs out there that would potentially lie to you, would make things really difficult for you, would put a lot of pressure on you to not publish and try and sort of talk their way out of it for whatever reason. Yeah. And obviously there's certain elements where you're kind of under it's a pressurised situation to write this kind of piece, but I think at least they're pretty fair. So you can't say that for everybody.
The previous comms guy that was at United, I'd heard something which has still never to this day been in the public realm, and I said, I've heard this, and he went, what the fucking have you heard that? And I said, I've got friends. And he went, is it true? And he went, yeah. And I was like,
Well, there you go.
So at least, yeah, there is that. Loads of people in the super chat. Kai Kurd is in the super chat. Good to see Kai. It says, on to the proper stuff. What journalist could you smash up in a Misfits boxing match? I think that's what that is meant to say. I think he's made a few errors there.
He's a small fella, isn't he, Laurie?
Who, Laurie?
Yeah.
He's not that small.
What way do you reckon he's coming in?
I actually do. Sometimes I weigh myself and I'm like, actually, I think I'm like a weird, like a welterweight almost at UFC level.
10 stone or something. What's
I'm like 11.
That would be about 12.
11 stone. I am.
Oh,
Is it 12? Okay. So
What are you in pounds?
What's that?
Well,
11 stone and a
10
bit. What's that?
11 stone would be
154?
Yeah, something like
so
that.
it'll be a lightweight.
Yeah. Okay.
UFC lightweight.
So, yeah, have you got a journalist that's like, you could fight at that level?
I'm not. I cannot
Kai's
go
asking,
there.
let's not go there.
Shitbag.
You definitely are not going
How
there.
dare you?
Let's
How
not start throwing
dare
people under
you?
the bus when Laurie's come on here in good faith. Abhinav Verma says, Laurie, what was pre-season tour like with Paddock? Yeah, what was it like, right?
It was good.
What was it like? Yeah, it was high on it, to be fair.
They had a great, you had a lovely place in San Diego, didn't you?
You did, he came and chilled with us for a bit in San Diego.
It's still one of my favourite pictures that I've got in my camera roll, Joe Smith diving in. You know, he looks like Jesus, and in that picture, he is Jesus because he's floating on the water, like, you know, sort of stretched out, reclining, like life's
great.
just perfect.
It was good stuff. Me, Road Trip, who's been a member of the academy for 16 months, says, what's your favourite place you've watched United play that wasn't inside a football ground? I'm asking that to both of you. It's open to the forum.
How do you watch United play not in a football
United
ground?
not in a football
Like a train, like a
like
train.
where you've been somewhere. Like say you've, I presume, like say you know, like you might Scotty, for example, you end up in India once in someone's house.
Oh, okay.
Maybe just met.
It's the most Scotty thing I've ever heard about.
Yeah, he was like him and his missus in India, and he said like just managed to find some guy who had like a telly. And he was like, "Can I come and watch United in your house?" And he's like, "Yeah, come in."
That's good though, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was actually in Sri Lanka on my honeymoon, and in I can't remember the place what it's called now, but it's like a trekker kind of port, and we were in this cool bar. It was like 2 floors, and like, you know, cocktails are flowing. I had it on my iPhone. I can't remember what match it was. It was in February. But yeah, so
Don't know, we
that
probably
was
lost.
Pretty nice.
Oh no, February. We were all right in February. It was after February went downhill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it might have been all right.
Supporters Club in
Carabao
San
Cup.
Francisco.
Yeah.
When United weren't, United was here.
Ah, right. Okay.
I was in San Francisco. I've watched in some random places in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, because I bet you've done some
I think I
right
watched
things, haven't you?
2005. Was we in the League Cup final? 2005.
Yeah, no, it was in the FA Cup final, wasn't we?
No, it wasn't the FA Cup final.
You meant 2006 one against Wigan, was it?
Yeah, it was the one against Wigan.
4-0. Yeah.
I watched that in Cyprus at RAF Akrotiri.
That's all right, isn't it? Decent.
What's the vibe there then? Do you have to, like, can you get a big TV, or is it like round a sort of portable thing?
Varies. Sometimes there's a telly. It's like the World Cup 2006 was in Afghanistan. There was a shitload of fucking newspapers and stuff was coming out, weren't there? You know the one, Murdoch's one. They was giving out little bowler hats for everyone. Fuck off with that. Fucking wearing that with a sun all in front of it. You're mad.
What's this mean? GB12's asked, who has the better lid, Steve or Laurie? Starts with Steve.
Hairstyle, innit?
Oh, right. Sorry, I wouldn't know. So,
Ask
why-
Jay.
I didn't know. I didn't know what lid meant. I'm always worried when I don't know what something means in case it's a reference I'm not getting that's like embarrassing me, which he has done anyway. Who has the better hair, Steve or Laurie?
Steve's
no, you both got good
Steve's
hair
looking
game.
really good, actually.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not bad for 40, is it?
and
Strong game.
40.
Yeah.
And the facial hair as well. I can't grow anything, so on that part
Right,
of it.
we'll call it a draw.
I couldn't grow a beard until I was like fucking 30, man. It was pathetic.
Oh, okay.
I like this. Oh, Hamlin86, who's been a member of the first team for 12 months, says, let Laurie know how much we appreciate his dedication and love for the club.
No.
But he ruined Christmas. I twitted him for that. I wasn't abusive. That's an Andy Tate reference. Andy Tate said that about Tom Cleverley.
I twitted him.
Yeah, he said, Cleverley, he's rubbish. I twitted him for that, but I wasn't abusive.
You're rubbish. See you
What's
later.
the level of that then? You know, thanks for ruining Christmas. That's not abusive, I suppose, is it?
No.
But you weren't very good today, Tom. What was
I
he
don't
saying
know what
to
it
you?
was. I shudder to think, to be honest with you, but it wasn't. He didn't swear, I think.
Okay.
Just a bit of feedback.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Hiya, Tom. I've watched the
Healthy
game back.
feedback.
Yeah,
That's good.
here's some notes you might want to consider.
Yeah.
Alex Bailey has been a member of the first team for 37 months. I feel like this podcast in 2 parts. The part about you talking what's gone on, the part you're talking about recently, the article you did recently about what may go on, if that makes sense. But this sort of ties in with that. Alex Bailey says, has Laurie or any of the Athletic lot spoke to Sir Jim or Sir Dave yet? Athletic, only trustworthy.
We're not calling him Sir Jim, and is he Sir Dave?
Yeah.
Is it Sir Dave?
Mate,
Yeah. It's just Jim and Dave. Reanointed.
Is that a thing? Do you have to call people like sir?
What are you going to do? Fucking put me in jail?
I know, but I don't know. He's like, it's etiquette then.
Probably etiquette,
I feel like first mention maybe, and then once the conversation's going, you can just go for Dave.
Jimbo, yeah.
I spoke to somebody that
Davey boy.
a piece is coming out at some point next week, maybe a kind of more in-depth look at Sir Dave Brailsford, and he calls him Dave to me. So, I don't know. I guess if you know someone pretty well, would you call it, Sir Alex, you'd say Sir Alex?
I've met him once.
To be fair, I would say Sir Alex, but that's out of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's definitely
So
serving it.
what happens if they bring the title to United?
I'll consider it.
Okay.
Yeah. When they're sat here on the Brew, we'll think about calling him Sir.
You'll bow.
Yeah, if it's title number 21, is it? Otherwise, it's just Dave and Jimbo.
He's from fucking Failsworth. Let's have it right.
How has that happened? That is crazy. I still can't get over that.
I took Spencer for a drive through Failsworth before, and he went, "Hang on, isn't this where Jim Ratcliffe's from?" I went, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh."
I think you have to appreciate that, because obviously the whole context was, Qatar's in, and quite a lot of fans wanted the full takeover and wanted the big money. When you actually think about what Sir Jim Ratcliffe's been able to achieve coming from Failsworth in Oldham, it's absolutely bonkers.
I don't even think he's ever robbed a single post office either. I'm not sure.
Really?
I don't
Is that
know.
not how he started off?
Pretty
his
much
fortune
everyone else
before
who
he
made
went
dough in
legit?
Failsworth has robbed the post office, so he's done well there.
Yes, Dale Gibson has been a member of the First Team 37 Mum, says, "We've had all the Talk of the Devils lads on the channel separately. Can we get a Paddock and Talk of the Devils mashup?" How are the lads on the Talk of the Devils?
You would, yeah.
Yeah, we've had Andy on, we've had Carl, we've had Ian on.
Ian, yeah.
All doing well.
Who's your favourite?
Obviously you.
What did you say to them?
I said it to everyone when you've been on it.
No, I'd probably tell him it's Laurie.
Really?
He's the best on a night out.
Yeah, he is.
Have you had a night out with them three though?
To be honest with you, I used to see Andy out drinking near where I grew up, but this is when I was in the depths of my drink and drug abuse, so I used to do his head in.
Chew his ear off.
Yeah. So I've known this since I was a kid. I've never been out. You've been out with Carl, haven't you? Well, you've been in an awards thing with Carl. Because when Carl...
Journalism awards, Laurie. One day, you keep writing shit like that, maybe you'll get to one, eh?
Oh, shots fired. Yeah.
Oh, it's a broadcast award, actually.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm sleeping the awards, didn't I? Oh yeah, it's great. Fuck off, boring. Do one. But no, you've been doing live events and all that.
Oh, it's been class, yeah. It's amazing. I don't know if anyone's watching that bought a ticket, but thank you, because it's mind-blowing. You guys were in Dublin the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, well, he got to the airport and then fell ill.
Oh.
So he tried.
Oh, you were invited at least. He wasn't
he was invited. And
without...
I spent the rest of the evening explaining why he wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Great. Do you know what I mean? So all the disgruntled Paddock.
Oh, they were disgruntled, were they?
No, he's got like his own little
fan base within our fan
okay.
channel community, and there was a lot of Paddock FC fans who wanted to meet him and stuff. So they're going to meet him eventually.
Julio Leshy says, Laurie, do you remember that voice? I don't know where this is going to go. I might have to stop halfway through. Do you remember that voicemail from 2022 where Steve shouted at you from outside Old Trafford about WTF keeping tabs meant on his transfer show?
What the fuck does keeping tabs mean?
I don't know.
I think he left you a voicemail
that I didn't pick up. Was that? Were you on the channel? Because my mate showed it me and said, "Why didn't you pick up to Steve?" And I didn't realise he'd rang me. Can you remember what it was about?
Yeah, basically, obviously we speak fairly regularly, and in the middle of doing transfer review, one of your articles had come up.
Okay.
And we've got this running joke about keeping tabs, because what does it mean?
Monitoring.
Okay.
Keeping tabs, monitoring.
Oh, did I write keeping tabs? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So we rang you up to abuse you about keeping tabs and left a voicemail.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Because his voicemail just goes, Laurie.
Wow. Hey, thanks for that.
It's one of them. So we played his voicemail and then shouted at him. But there was a couple of people who don't actually know. I don't know if some people know that we don't know each other or think we don't know each other or whatever. And some people was like, wow.
Oh,
that was really rude.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like you just got his number from somewhere. I've got his number, I'm going to abuse him on a video. What are you doing?
Some people are like that, aren't they? So.
Colin Felix, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, we do know each other, just to confirm.
Yeah, there you go. Just once they're off camera, though, they hate each other. Like, they don't speak at all. Colin Felix says Sancho's dream job is to be an Olympic lifeguard. Okay, thanks for that. There's a link in the description, by the way, in the chat, even for Laurie's article.
How nice is that? Thank you.
No, it's alright. That's the least we can do.
I like the quote. Let's go deeper on the quote. So there was, I believe, all staff meeting. So that was all of the regular staff, the marketing and sales and tickets and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So the general vibe of that was quite exciting, and everyone's come away from that quite happy with it. And he said in the middle of this, I'm not asked about profit, I'm here for winning trophies.
Yeah.
It's a great start.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what you want from an owner, right? I mean, already he's done more
For 18 years, Laurie,
than the Glazers.
we have not had that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's put his money in his pocket, $300 million. And I know it's not $2 billion that's going to build a new stadium, but the idea is that it's a start, and we'll see, obviously.
Also, it's a bit fucking complex, isn't it? When he owns
Yeah.
25% of it, the public owns
Yeah.
X, and the Glazers own the remainder. One guy shelling out when everyone else watches but earns off it. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. But that shows that, again, words are easy, and actions are harder. And even if you intend what you say, actually filling them out, fulfilling that, and winning titles is even more difficult. But I think for the fact that he's actually gone, no, okay, $300 million, okay, put that into equity into the club. $200 million as soon as the transaction is confirmed by the Premier League, and then $100 million by the time the year closes. Yeah, it's not going to change the dynamic hugely, but it's a start. And it's something to work with. It's a sign of intentions. He's not just sort of saying that he's going to do something. Okay, there we go. With proofs there.
How secure is that 18-month, and how likely do you think is? I think the intention of putting his own cash in on top of the investment in getting hold of us, that 18-month deadline of buying the club at the agreed share price of, was it
$33 is what he purchased the.
Are we on that path then? Is it now a case of we expect that in 18 months he processes that transaction and the gimps are gone?
I don't know. I don't think it's as straightforward as that. We've actually got a piece by Matt Slater on The Athletic now. Sorry to give another plug. But
I've had Matt on the channel.
Yeah,
I think that's something we all really need to know, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've all seen this 18-month timeline and the share price, and you're like, okay, what does it mean?
I think ultimately he does want to own the club outright.
He's got to, hasn't
But
he? He's got to, surely.
at the moment,
He's got to want to.
Everyone was always wondering, well, Sir Jim Ratcliffe doesn't like to share things. He doesn't want to have a deliberation about something that he owns or has a major part in. And this is the answer to it. So he's got sporting control. That's the bit that he really cares about. He doesn't really, it seems to me, care that much about the commercial aspect. The team that are already there can keep doing what they're doing on that regard. But actually on the sporting side, that's where he's going to potentially get the thrill, the joy that he wants to get from it, which is, winning trophies. And so I think ultimately he does want to own the whole thing, but as it stands, he's got control of the part of the club that matters the most to him.
It does seem like he does care. I mean, I remember chatting to someone who worked at the club when he went on when he came to the club to meet everyone, to meet Richard Arnold when it was him and Sheikh Jassim.
Last March.
Yeah, and they were saying that they gave him all a tour, and they're saying like Sheikh Jassim's team weren't interested in the museum and the trophies and the tour. They just wanted to get down to business.
Right.
But Sir Jim was definitely interested in all that. Spoke about coming to the ground. Spoke about coming to watch the team. Just chatted like a fan to the people.
Because at the final in '99,
yeah, like he did. They got a dog in the fight.
The worst thing he's done last few years
like a fan.
was try and buy Chelsea. Because trying to buy Chelsea, he had to come out with, well, I live in London and blah, blah. He had to renounce his United fandom to appease the Chelsea fans that he might be buying.
As well. I live in London, so I can't possibly go to Old Trafford. Do you know what I mean? You can't get down that M66.
Well, I think
M6, sorry.
He's a billionaire. I guess he wasn't at that point when he was perhaps going to Chelsea, but I do think that you're not necessarily going to be on the terraces every single week, are you? As a billionaire, he's really
Chelsea headhunter, mate. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's right.
Calling card.
There was a suggestion also with that whole Chelsea bid. It was a bit of a stalking horse for United.
We
anyway.
spoke to Kieran Maguire years ago, about 2 years whenever it first happened, and he said, "Look, that bid. I don't think it's a bid that's ever going to succeed.
He left it late.
He left it late. He's a clever man, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He's not stupid where he's going, oh, I might get away with this. It felt like it was a message. That's what Kieran said, and he knows his financial onions. Said it.
Fucking called that one right then, didn't he?
Mate, we need to dig that video out, honestly, bro. Because he was saying everything we spoke about now. He was saying, look, he said, look, Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the time, I think he was 69, 70, whatever. He said he's more asked about his legacy than making loads more money in the future when it comes to United. He said he thinks he could be, if he can leave a legacy of the guy that saved United and turned United
just
around.
Getting us out of the fucking cesspit of the Glazers.
Yeah, that's a great legacy.
The only way he does this even better is if he turns it loose on the fans if he gets it out of the Glazers, delivers us the 21st title, and then goes, right, 50 plus 1% of these shares are up for sale, get them fucking bought. Oh my God!
Yeah, it depends.
I'll never own pants again.
Depends which fans get their hands on them, Steve.
I will never own pants again.
Look at Barcelona, and it's not always Nirvana, is it? But I agree with you. I think fan investment.
No, listen, we've all advocated for that. You've done it with Paddock. We all want to see that. Abhinav Verma says Jim doesn't care about Jay Motty's $20 worth of United shares. That's true. He's not been in touch with me. I own $20 worth of the club. Yeah. Well, it's $18 now.
So 33 in 18 months.
You get part of that offering. You do. So,
mate, I own, like my shares on that. I'm always doing this on the live. Like I bought $20 about a year ago just to monitor it.
So you bought for what did you buy him at? $20.
Yeah.
So you get 25% of your shares.
Mate, I'm on 19.15. I don't know if I've got a single. Have I? No. There you go. There you go. 19.15. So I've made a loss.
Well, no, but if you now, I don't know when it's. You know better than me in terms of.
No,
how
I don't know anything.
Okay, but if you want to participate in their offering, what happens is anyone that wants to participate, they kind of go right, fine, and then you all get, if it's oversubscribed, which obviously will be because you're making a big profit on what you bought it for.
We're in for $33 in 18 months.
Yeah, I'm holding out.
You want the full thing?
Yeah, we're not selling at 19.15 now.
I'm not sure you get 33%.
Do I look stupid? What I love is it says my.
I guess we find out in the article, won't we? But
yeah.
I'm not
sure it's as straightforward as that.
It's me.
Is it the Glazer ones are $33?
But the whole point that he had to give the same offering to the Class A shareholders as the Class B. Otherwise, the legal action would come from the Class A shareholders.
He's worked this well, hasn't he? Because at one point, it looked like he was a distant second to Shades of Scene. It's like everyone's going, he ain't...
Third.
Yeah, third.
I think Michael Knighton had the money pledged.
Well, he's worked with them, hasn't he? So he's basically realised that they didn't really want to sell the full club, it seems to me. Sorry, I'll let you laugh a bit more if you want.
Right, yeah, sorry.
Good.
Yeah, he just ignored it.
No, that's like a professional journalist.
Almost like he doesn't think that Michael Knighton was a legitimate option. The money was pledged, Laurie, and why would he lie?
Yeah, anyway...
Fucking give us something on record. Come on.
Your more recent article is obviously spoken about the staff meeting and the fact that I think they said it was they liked his honesty and all that sort of stuff, positive stuff. What do you think the future holds for Eric Ten Hag? That's the big question under this new English regime.
As an annex on that, what do you reckon that conversation consisted of? Because they both sort of come out of it, or it seems to have come out of it, that they were both quite happy with the conversation.
Positive talk.
Yeah, so it wasn't pack your shit then, obviously. Yeah.
I don't think they were ever going to say that to him because I think they genuinely want to come in and assess things and really find out the granular detail of who does what, why did they do that, what does this department do, how does that department mesh with this one, is there cohesion? A lot of what Sir Dave Brailsford speaks about is getting people to work together in the right kind of collaboration. Is that really happening at United right now? I don't know.
I can probably answer that for you.
Exactly. So Eric Ten Hag, will have, he said, I was there yesterday, very positive. It seemed genuine to me, in terms of him being able to speak to them honestly about what he's experienced at United for 18 months now. Whether they then look at it and go, well, actually, still, Eric, as the season completes itself, you're still responsible for a lot of the losses or whatever, or whether they look at it and go, actually, okay, we realise that you've on something here. If we support you in a different way and are able to kind of bring you players that you might not have heard of, exactly. But it's up in the air. I mean, people might look at it and go, okay, new owners, really, new co-owners. They're going to want their own person in. That might well ultimately come to pass, but I don't know. I don't think it's as clear cut as that right now.
Because there was rumours, weren't there, that like the
Graham Potter.
But someone we did a tweet without naming names. Sky put out an article saying Graham Potter. We did a tweet naming the people on that article as the reporters, and one of them messaged me saying that article's nonsense. And I've asked my name to suck off it. So the Graham Potter thing, I think, is just completely made up.
I don't think it's not made up. No.
Well, right, okay then. Because when we ran it, it was like someone said.
Laurie said United great game, Graham Potter. Tweet it now.
That particular one wasn't
because you can't ever discount when there's already a relationship established there. So Dave Brailsford, I think, spoke directly to Graham Potter about the niche job at some point. So there's a relationship there. I don't know. You tell me, but I think the way that Chelsea has gone this season kind of makes him look a bit better than it did at the time.
The Ollie factor.
A little bit. No, you're still screwing your face up.
Hey.
Ollie came second and third, not 10th.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I think the trouble you've got with Graham Potter, and I've always thought this when he was living with us a few years ago,
is just that sort of coming into that dressing room and your achievement is, I had one good season at Brighton. I did okay.
It's a tough,
it's
a tough job.
What's the name of the club that I always forget wrong?
Ostersund.
Thank you.
Ostersund,
yeah, I did okay there. I just think a player's going to respond to that in the way you want him to.
Where else did he coach? Was it Bath University?
Like
that was the first place, I think.
I mean, it sounds comical, doesn't it? Like
season at Swansea.
Like I don't know if some of these egos that you have got in the dressing room, you might need to come in.
Well, you have. Like, I think you've had that a little bit with Ten Hag, to be fair.
Yeah, and at least he can come in and Champions League semi-final.
But then you get to a stage where who is good enough then for these?
Okay.
Jose came in, the biggest ego, the biggest reputation of all of them. So
selection of bellends.
Yeah, well, I get that. That's my concern. But like you say, then if you point out they've got a relationship there, if things do go wrong, then this doesn't seem to me. I mean, you may disagree, and I know you've done a million videos on this, and a standout candidate where you go, like when it was Van Gaal, you went Jose's right there.
Well, I think Jose being available got Louis the sack.
You did, didn't it?
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, because they actually had a plan where it was, Ryan Giggs was his assistant, and there was an idea that he would eventually take over from Louis.
Yeah, well, no, that obviously didn't happen. Then with all it felt like it by default because of his caretaker performance.
Yeah. People forget that he earned that.
No,
his record was ridiculous as a caretaker.
The only issue I had with it was we waited till he started losing games and then we gave him the job. He got knocked out of the FA Cup and then lost his first game in the league for ages.
That's what that article he wrote was. We're so reactionary.
Yeah.
It's
no one's got a fucking plan.
No.
But it's also uncertainty to then commit. There's no decisiveness. It feels like from a lot of the structure at the club.
Every fucking protecting their ass. No one wants to no one wants to sign an order where they say go do that.
Clearly, you've heard from this statement now this week from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Dave Brailsford that
Jim, please.
Sorry, just
not until he gets 21.
Jimbo.
Jimbo. You can call him James if you like.
Only his mother, probably James. No, surely.
Surely he's a James, right?
I don't know.
He wasn't christened Jimmy.
Okay.
Well, you never know. He's from Failsworth.
That's cool.
But I would say that they've come in with a clear intention to be decisive. So that they're saying all the right things. Again, proof's in the pudding. But I think that they will act decisively on matters, and they're on the ground. How much more sort of invigorating is that for the staff to be able to see these guys in person? And obviously it's the first week, you can't get carried away, but I think that it's a really good sign of they mean business and they're going to put themselves in the firing line.
It's not the case that the Glazers didn't. It was more the case that well, actually we didn't want them here, but they clearly didn't want to do that because they do that with the Bucks. There's footage from a month ago or so of an NFL game, and the lads are getting off the coach, and they're there, shaking their hands as they come into the stadium. Now imagine that at the back of the Stretford end. For starters, it'd be a fucking riot if they did. But also,
well, maybe that's why they never did it, because they realised that they took over the club with such toxicity that they could never do that, could they? And be celebrated.
18 fucking years.
It is crackers. Saber Mark 42 says, reckon Sir Jim has ever pooed his pants. Hashtag Ratcliffe, great question. Jacob Morris says, shout out Laurie in the Athletic, only reputable United source as far as I'm concerned. Getting a lot of love here, Laurie, I don't like it. Andrew James.
No, do you know what? I'll give them the fucking dues. They bought that.
No.
They've come in and they've fucking earned that.
Yeah, of course.
There was people that were riding high when David Meat was here, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And, no longer doing that. Out of fucking nowhere, because it was an American publication, wasn't it? They did a fucking bit of an Avengers assemble, getting you, Ian, and Andy, and
Daniel Taylor. Daniel Taylor as well.
It's a good punt on
yeah, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay. They literally went who's who, and you obviously you got some very bitter people that have been fucking noses pressed up against the glass, looking up against.
Never say never. Just keep going. Andrew James has been a member of the Academy for 14 months, says FFP allows for 90 million of owner investment on transfers over a 3-year period. Is there any chance we see an injection in Jan now that deal is a formality?
It's not been ratified by the Prem though, has it?
Well, yes, there's that, so they actually can't do that. Say it does somehow get fast-tracked and there's a window, maybe they could.
I don't think they could gamble. It will go through, fuck it, go for it.
I don't know what the regulations are on that. I would suspect that they would. I don't think the authorities would allow that. I don't know. So then when it comes to look at our accounts, and they were like, well, where did that money come from? Oh, it came from the owners that weren't actually ratified yet. Oh, right, well, yeah. I think
the Glazers put money in. Everyone go, fuck off, did they?
No,
they didn't.
I hate it so much because you hear that all the time, don't you, of arguments, and I've done it on videos or when you appear on something, they go,
the Glazers
you can't fault the Glazers spent like, billions of pounds. Like, no, they haven't spent any of their own money.
They've still to this day taken more than, or their ownership has cost us more than we have spent during their ownership on transfers.
Yeah.
We've got to ask you the inevitable transfers question, Laurie.
Come on.
I know you've been waiting for this. 40 minutes we've toyed around the question. Are we going to do out in Jan or what? What do you reckon?
1 or 2 loans is what I've been told, and I don't have any reason to doubt that just because of everything that you're hearing. I mean, Eric said I was on record saying he doesn't think he's going to do anything.
Shaped.
Well, there you go. We're in that sort of realm again.
We've learned our lesson from last season's Vote Vegas.
Don't ever write anything off.
So we thought we're not going to do that again.
Do you know what? United in my entire lifetime basically loaned Henrik Larsson.
Yeah.
And that was it, right? Until about a year ago, and fuck me, did we find that phone book somewhere?
Yeah, we did. We love a loan, don't we?
But someone found that rule, didn't they? And went, hey, we could do that.
Yeah.
And someone was like, no.
Was Odi Nagalo alone, or was that?
And then it turned into. Did it turn into a permanent
deal after his 5 goals in the Europa? Whatever.
Hey, listen,
Nagalo.
Uncle Igalo.
I think it was still
fucking top.
He was lovely. Like his Instagram was ace.
Yeah, he loved it, and it again sort of did a bit of a job at that point. They're fine as an isolated incident. It's when it's like the pattern that's when it becomes.
I mean, like it has been the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, because last January it was 3 loanees, wasn't it? It was Butland.
Oh yeah,
Sabitzer,
and and Vote Vegas.
So you're gonna have to say it's been a flawless success.
Exactly.
So far.
Why change a winning formula?
So basically, from Henrik Larsson to today, the loan market has been just like the Garden of Eden for us.
In terms of outgoings, because there's been contrasting reports about not even outgoings, like what's happening with these contracts. Is Martial going to sign a new deal? Because some people, Eric Ten Hag used it at the presser yesterday, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag said there's talks going on, which people then took to mean there's talks of him extending.
Yeah.
And then other people, I think you mate Rob Dawson, a few others are saying, no, hang on.
I don't think there's going to be an extension there. Well, they definitely not. What he said was they weren't going to trigger the option, which we already knew. And then they're talking to Varane and Martial. Now those talks could ultimately be, okay, thanks very much, see you later at the end of the season. They might not even end in offer. I think the idea is that maybe you'd offer a reduced salary like they did with David De Gea, and ultimately he left, didn't he? So,
what about, there's been some talks of Todibo going to Spurs. Surely Jimmy Jimbo wouldn't allow that to happen.
That's his name now.
On his watch. Or even if there's a potential of it being his watch in a couple of weeks once it's ratified, surely there's a way that we could loan him with an agreed fee in the summer.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Because I think that's the only legitimate win we might be able to have under FFP regulations. In the
is he going to go to Spurs in this window though?
I don't know. Yeah.
Surely they're doing all right, aren't they, Nice? Like,
the second in the league.
Yeah, like letting him go in the middle of their season would.
Yeah, I mean, as you've said, you'd be surprised given. Ineos have authority in that situation. Yeah. Would they really allow?
United might be consigned to losing Varane. I think probably at the end of the season rather than the next few weeks.
I personally don't see Varane going this window. Yeah. I think that if anyone does go, Ten Hag would want a replacement. Okay, Sancho and Van der Beek are a bit different because they kind of just not
they
even
don't fucking exist.
Squad.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, you forget. I always forget about Donny.
Donny Van der Beek forgot about Donny.
I know, I used to do it all the time. You think, oh yeah, and you see him on the bench at times.
He did a press conference today, didn't he? Smiling, and I saw Bruno replied saying, "Keep smiling, bro." So obviously he's well thought of by his. It's astonishing. I mean, the idea that he came to United. I think was he on the Ballon d'Or list when he was?
Yeah, he was in like in the top. Is it the 30? Yeah, he was a Ballon. He's officially a Ballon d'Or nominee.
Yeah,
like that is a thing you can say about him.
He was never gonna be suited to United's situation,
and he could never play with Ten Hag, could he?
Well,
he's a manager that doesn't know who he is and has never used him before.
I mean, that was again, so that goes back to a different sort of regime, I suppose, where you had Ed Woodward and Matt Judge, and ideally, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Jack Grealish, but Donny van de Beek was available for 40 million because Real Madrid had to pull out because of the COVID crisis, and it looked a good deal, but then when you drill down into it, clearly get a player for a little bit more money that's suited to the Premier League, that you know what you're going to get from them, it felt like, here's an opportunity, let's just do it, rather than this is the plan and he fits within this plan.
Because Ollie didn't seem to fancy him. That was the weird thing for me.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah.
And
He was a squad player in Ollie's eyes, I think.
Yeah.
And then when he got in, he realised it wasn't quite working. The physicality, I think, was a big issue. And clearly you've had then, even Ten Hag hasn't used him ultimately. So
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to Donny, and he hasn't been good enough, or he hasn't been strong, or whatever. Injuries haven't helped, because he went to Everton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Have that low move where he missed half the games because of injury.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a few Evertonians and said he was doing all right until he obviously got injured. Last season he got injured in against Bournemouth, where you thought this might be a chance for him under this manager who knows him, and then he gets injured to the end of the season. So I think it's been a mixture of him probably not being quite level as he wanted and injuries at the wrong time. But it just was weird. We had this Donny, I don't even know, it's the Donny Van de Beek FC almost within the United fan base.
The answer's always the one
Yeah,
who played.
who thought
That's
he
what
was
it
going
is.
to solve all our problems.
So right now it's Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
Right now Amad Diallo is the
honestly,
fucking
it was
messiah.
bizarre.
And in about 2 weeks it's going to be Lisandro Martinez. Like, once he's fit enough, or even half fit enough, people are going to be demanding he's back playing and starting over Johnny Evans. Like, and then as soon as he is back starting and we're still conceding goals, it'll be Johnny Evans. Like, the answer will be whoever's not playing, because it's the easiest one. Or if Martial goes to Fenerbahce, as has been rumoured, we should have kept him, because look at all the goals he'd have scored.
Yeah, 100%. John Shin's in the chat as well. John.
Fuck off, John.
Yeah, and also reply to your text. Brian Casey makes a great point here. Jay, now that we've had a brew full of football talk, it's time to derail it. What's the best baked potato topping?
Oh, fuck off. Keep baked potatoes.
Why?
Who did we have this discussion with the other day?
Why
Did
is
Joe
that
come and
got
ask
you
me?
so angry?
Have you ever made a baked potato? No.
You don't like baked potatoes?
No.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my go-to, but
No, but I don't like
Ever.
that.
it's a filling, warming
Yeah.
meal on a cold,
And
winter
I'd
day.
go with tuna and mayo for me. For the
Okay,
no, cheese.
beans and cheese.
Beans and cheese. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why you got so annoyed at the question about a baked potato.
Because
Like,
fuck baked potatoes, that's why.
God.
Baked potato. It's such a shit way of doing it as well.
Listen, when we was
you
poor, right, a bag of baked potatoes would do you a week.
A bag of baked potatoes.
Yeah, a bag of what potatoes you had to bake them yourself.
Not pre-baked.
But you know
Throw
what I
them up in
mean?
the oven for an hour.
You know, do you know what I mean? Do you for a week that for a £5. Laurie, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for coming
Hang on,
on the
wait,
channel.
what time is it?
Well, it's 10 to, innit?
Oh, we're not fucking finishing yet.
All right, I'm sorry.
Nicolas Cage, worst 3 films, go.
Worst 3 films. Has he ever made a bad film?
Oh, get
Whoa, mate.
Right, fuck it off.
Right, mate. There you go. There's the end of
Okay.
it. He's got a thing about Nicolas Cage. I argue, right, that Nicolas Cage won an Oscar for leaving Las Vegas. He just says that doesn't count, right? He says Face Off and all that shit. He's not interested.
He's a great actor. He's hilarious.
What do you mean great? And what do you mean hilarious?
It's funny.
He's a funny guy. I don't think he means to be. He's funny in like action films, just with his overacting.
There's a bit of Brent about him.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
But he
I
does
wouldn't
that
say-
film, doesn't he, where he plays himself.
Funny like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Not
What?
funny, is
Yeah,
it?
well, that's what I'm thinking of. That one where he plays himself.
Yeah. What's it called? The unbearable weight
Yeah.
of immeasurable.
Have you watched The
talent.
Last of Us?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that Dead Man Walking yet.
Dead Men Walking.
Is it Dead Man Walking? Dead Man Shoes?
With
Oh
Paddy
yeah,
Considine.
Dead Men Walking's the one you mate produced. The Rio Ferdinand production with who's it? Danny Dyer.
You fucking butt.
Yeah, mate. I've heard of him. That was money well spent.
Proper dope. No, I haven't seen that one. I watched The Last of Us over Christmas.
Any good?
Did you
Yeah, very
cry
good.
at episode 3?
Did I cry at episode 3? Oh, no.
Come
No.
on.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever cried at telly.
Have you not?
Wait, but you cried at telly?
I cried at ET. Do you know what? I cried at ET when I was a kid. I know it's not telly, it's cinema. And then I went back with my kids and I got emotional again because it's like, oh, that's it. And none of my kids were asked. They were like, and I was like, what is wrong with
Fuck you kids and your fucking music.
Yeah, they cry at everything in our house. And I was like, what's the matter with you? You're just not feeling it. They're like,
Have you finished the series?
Yeah.
Good, isn't it? I didn't realise that there wasn't another series. I was fucking wounded.
But there was a second game, though, isn't there? Last of Us 2, I think.
I didn't even
think-
know it was on again.
Yeah, it used to be a video game, yeah. Which is mad, isn't it?
Is that what
right?
you're now watching video
That's how good
games,
video
getting
games
Yeah, we're
are, that
watching
you
video
can then
games.
Jesus
make
Christ.
a TV show out of it. That's
I watched
really
Reach Up the
compelling.
other day.
I like Reacher.
Yeah.
It's cartoon.
It's cartoon.
Come
It is
on.
what it is. If you go into it thinking
Written
it
by
might be
Aston Villa
good,
fan.
like it's not terminal.
Lee Child. He knocks
Who
about
what?
around here.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he was at home the other week. Like, Trevor knows him. He's Lee Child who wrote Reacher novels.
All right.
Yeah, he's
hanging around Manchester City
Good
Centre.
lad.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? Have you seen Reacher?
No. I saw like a trailer of it. The guy's massive.
Yeah.
Is it-
Absolutely jacked and tanned.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think in the books he's meant to be like that,
Yeah.
but in the films
Oh.
it was Tom Cruise who played him.
Oh,
In the
okay,
books, he's
that's
like
fine.
a tall. I think he's 6'5".
Right,
or
sorry, I'm
whatever.
getting confused. Then. I
Yeah.
thought in the books he was actually smaller.
No.
Right.
I'm pretty sure in the books he's tall, and then in the films he got Tom Cruise who's tiny.
Right.
But it's Tom Cruise in it, so he's like, well, Tom Cruise says he'll do the film, we'll get him. But obviously in the series they've gone.
What can we watch? Talk to us in the comments. What can we watch?
I've been watching that Manifest. On my,
What's that about?
It's about this plane goes missing and it turns up and it's been gone for 5 years, but all the passengers haven't aged.
Ooh.
So they're like, well, they feel like it's
Is
been
that a true story?
Yeah, it's a documentary. So they feel like it's been an hour or whatever, and it's been 5 years, and everyone's like, oh, like,
That'd send you Melon Western, wouldn't
yeah, all the kids on the plane are still kids and everything. It's like, what's going on? And then everyone's moved on with their lives as well. So when you land, your missus has got a new fella, and it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, there's some couples.
Like,
that
I've
get
only been gone a day,
separated.
and they're like, well, you've not even gone
Right.
5 years. And it's like, oh, and then they start hearing
you? You
voices.
want to try that one with the missus? Who's she? Natalie? 5 years ago you walked out on us. Just to see how long.
Yeah, see how long that lasts for you. See how long you can get away with that one. But it's good. They start hearing voices. It's all right. It's good. It's watchable. Trouble we have in our house, right? Me and my missus can't watch anything together.
Why?
She likes soaps and all Hollyoaks and shit like that. I like documentaries and boring stuff.
See, I got bang into Yellowstone.
But we
mate.
watched Manifest
So
together.
it's a very good yellow.
You've not seen it?
No.
It's fucking sensational.
Yeah. Someone
Yellowstone
says-
was fucking mega.
There's loads of people saying things. Slow Horses is good.
Yeah, Slow Horses is
Have you
good.
I've watched that.
I need
You got
to
Apple TV.
finish that.
It's
Get
the
it.
only thing I haven't got, actually.
Yeah, get it and watch that. It's really good. Someone else says The Last of Us is elite.
That was really good.
1883, Steve, is a...
But
Classic
that's
Yellowstone,
Yellowstone
yeah.
spin-off, yeah.
Yeah, someone says
but it's
a
got,
prequel, isn't
what's he called? Sam... Is it Sam? The old fella
Sorry.
Sam
plays
Smith.
a cowboy in everything.
Not Kevin Costner.
Sam Elliott.
He's in
Sam
Yellowstone,
Elliott.
isn't he? Okay.
Sam Elliott's in it, who's just... You're watching whatever he's in,
Right.
Yeah.
from Roadhouse onwards.
Peter Kelly, who's been a member of the Academy for 41 months, says, highly recommend It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's written by Rob McAnally, the Wrexham owner. It's quality with Danny DeVito. I've not seen that one. Yeah. What, Blackbird on Apple TV? I've not seen that.
Yeah, it's quite good, that, yeah.
Someone, Modern Samurai, says Taylor Sheridan is awesome.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan's on. I started the Bass Reeves one, which is basically in that Yellowstone sort of universe kind of thing, 1883 sort of universe, but it wasn't as gripping as like 1883. I mean, even 1923, one of the spin-offs, it's got fucking Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren in it.
Mate, TV's gone up on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you used to when you were making
Streaming's made
films, yeah. Like, if you went back to telly, your career had gone to the dogs. And now they get like mega
HBO
stars.
and what's Paramount of just
Different,
fucking
innit? Different
absolutely
levels.
unloaded.
Do you know what I mean?
Like there's one that Taylor Sheridan done called Tulsa King, which I haven't seen yet.
I've
It's
seen
like
that with
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, it's all right. Again, it's a bit cartoony, but it's Sylvester Stallone, and it's not going to be like, it's not going to be like Shakespeare. You know what I mean? So it is good. Anything else?
Oh, we got a game tomorrow, Paddock.
Thank you.
First time in about 6 fucking weeks.
Where is it?
It's at Openshaw.
Openshaw, East Manchester.
Bring your own knife.
That's your neck of the woods. That's your neck of the woods, isn't it?
What are you laughing at?
He said it or don't. It's
Okay,
fine.
Yeah.
Legally
You've got the
sound.
option.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Laurie, what are you up to next when you're not writing about United?
You're going to have a fucking week off now. I've written an article.
Yeah.
A year off, by your judgment.
Yeah, the next one will be out in November.
8 and 9 months.
Have you got anything else in the pipeline that you can tell us about?
This piece on Dave Brailsford that hopefully shines a bit more of a light on what his background, his relationship with football, because obviously, he's well known for the old gold medals at the Olympics and cycling. What does he actually know about football? But
Give
actually,
me a whole chapter on the PEDs.
Right.
What?
No, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, because I don't know if you saw, he did a video the week, 'cause I think it was Dean Saunders on TalkSport was going off his head going, what's Dave Brailsford, to get his name right?
Yeah.
No,
what does Dale Brailsford know?
Dale Brailsford knows nothing. Dave Brailsford knows a bit.
Dale Brailsford.
Dale Brailsford. What does he know
Like
about
a
anything?
TV chef.
Hey, yeah.
You're going to write that by accident. Dale Brailsford.
Dale
There's a good start to the article. But it was all this thing like, he's only worked in cycling, but he's done a bit at Nice and all
Well, that's it.
that.
He's been at Nice, and actually he's been around sort of these leaders. He's mingled with Sir Alex. He's mingled.
It
With
feels like a
Ed
geezer
Arson.
that's like almost been brought in as like a consultant and shit.
He won't be the guy that is making decisions on signings or coaching sessions or anything like that. He'll be putting the people in place that then make those decisions.
I said this in sort of response to Dean Saunders. He ain't putting the fucking cones out Monday morning.
No.
But he's hopefully, like, he's on a strategic point of view, isn't it? So, like, there's talk, isn't there, that we're going to see Ashworth and Mitchell and Brailsford. Like, this is a fucking Avengers Assemble potentially going on here, isn't it?
He wants a sporting director and a recruitment specialist from what we're told. So, you know, who those people are, I don't know for sure. But yeah, Ashworth and Mitchell are certainly names that they're considering.
Do you get like a positive feeling from all this? Because it's on paper it looks like it makes sense, but
Jay,
been here before. But
do I need to like spell out the last 18 years?
I know that, but you can go there. You can go. You know what I mean? Like when you're in a club, when you're speaking to these people, do you feel like, yeah, this is really
because it's
like,
easy.
I'm feeling really positive about it.
They
or
can
are you
have
cautious?
all the intent.
I'm still cautious.
You've got to be a bit cautious because it's one thing to say all this stuff. It's another thing doing it. You know, to having the conviction and the intelligence and the right decision making, the look. You know, fortune will play a part in this. So, but I think you've got people there that clearly have energy and drive. And, you know, they've got a pedigree in terms of putting together elite teams.
Which takes us from 0 to 100 from what we've just had.
I get it. I'm like, you know, I know it's different, but it was like when we're going to get Ralph Rangnick in, he's going to be a consultant. And it was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And then it just didn't happen. It was like, and it was
you do have to be careful.
Is there a door open for Ralph to come back and just tell him what was what, Jack?
Oh, really? I mean...
If someone's going to tell him how bad it stinks, that's your guy, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let's be honest.
I think that's...
When we speak to Dale
Brailsford. When Dale Brailsford
when we speak to Dale, right?
We'll
be like, listen, Ralph Rangnick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put him. I'm sure he knows all about Ralph Rangnick.
Has he read his book though?
His Trainer Coat's book, the best book ever.
Have you read that book?
I have not.
There's more words in your athletic article than there is in that book.
I know.
Trust me. Right, we're going to wrap it up there. Big thank you to Laurie from The Athletic for coming on, always doing good stuff. There's links in the chat and description. Go and check out all his articles, and we look forward to reading that one on Dale Brailsford.
All of them. Both of his articles from last year are really good.
Go and check out Stretford Paddock FC. They'll be playing in Open Show this weekend. Make sure you have your jabs.
We're playing what will definitely be a load of Scousers.
Really?
Cool Rangers.
That I can see that being a nice friendly game then. That won't kick off at all. So yeah, go and check that out. Thank you to Surfshark sponsoring this podcast as well. That's been Stephen Howson. That's been Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic. I'm Jay Moy. This has been The Brew. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.